For 1 billion people, they'll wake up tomorrow and not be sure they can even fill a simple cup like this with some porridge or food. That's the level of vulnerability we're talking about for almost 230 million children and for adults around the world. This is inherently destabilizing. It's unacceptable, and in fact, the numbers keep increasing, and just in the past 2 years went from 846 million to over 1 billion. It's impossible to keep up with this just from a humanitarian perspective. We partner with over 1,000 NGOs, and I think probably all of SAM's partners, but you're seeing new types of partnerships, and I will say working with the World Bank has really been a blessing for us to get the kind of policy guidance and expertise that can come with the types of programs we do, so they're built in with a more long-term sustainable type of foundation. We released with the bank today a book called Rethinking School Feeding that looked at 45 years of evidence of how of WFP's activities in many, many countries, including starting school feeding programs that provide a basic safety net. Now, in the developed world, these things are such a part of life that we don't even realize the effect they have in stabilization of hunger numbers. In the United States today, 1 out of every 6 Americans is drawing on a food safety net, either what used to be called food stamps, now SNAP, school lunches. So when times are tough, these safety nets can catch people who get pushed into hard times. Most of the world has no such safety net. The safety net is, will there be a humanitarian response to help deal with these pressures? So all the risk is in this cup. This is where you see the volatility happening, and there's not many mitigating institutions in between. Oh, sorry, that's another example of good activity. But so what we are really looking to is working with the longer-term partners to model programs that can be part of a stabilization for societies and can be a benefit. If you feed this cup with produce from local farmers, you're now getting a virtuous circle where you're pulling in locally produced goods and helping increase farmers' incomes. You're helping increase household incomes by 10%, and if you give kids an extra ration at the end of the week for perfect attendance, especially girls, you're then building in a logic and a 25% increase in household income. If you put a deworming pill in here, you're really revolutionizing a kid's life. If you put sprinkles of micronutrients, another example, cost a penny or two, you're now changing the types of things like night blindness and the damage that can happen to kids that cost and put a big burden on GDP. Now, we know we have to get the under 2-year-olds there. The damage is done for life if we don't reach them, but also for kids to be able to go to school and not have to beg or do other things to get food. This becomes essential.